6, 2023 in the Francis Huntley Cooper Council Chambers. First item on the agenda. Well, I should say that all board members are here. Dave Wilburn, Mike Gonetsky, Kim Liddell, and Dave Herbst. I see there's no public appearances for non-agenda items in the chambers. Scott, anything on Zoom? There are no public appearances. Item number 3, approval of the minutes. Get a motion to approve minutes February 20th, 2023.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 The next item number 4, report from the department.
For the record, Tim Volker, Director of Public Works, City Engineer. I'll start with some staff updates. Today was our engineering technician's first day, so Samantha Schultz came on board, and she's currently working under Ross. He's technically under the Transportation Division. Secondly, Tracy Foss was offered and accepted the Assistant Public Works Director position. So officially, I believe it's April 6th, she'll move into that position. We're going to look to post her current position hopefully by the end of this week. So we'll have a utilities engineer position vacant, and then the transportation engineer position still remains open. So Tracy and I will kind of be sitting down to talk about that position, see what we can do to get some more interest with applicants for that. Next, I'll move to some project updates with the Sain Road reconstruction project. There's a public information meeting on Wednesday night starting at 6:30 p.m. and it's at Fire Station number 3. And then for our Lacey Road Seminole Highway reconstruction project, bids were open last week, Tuesday, February 28th. Parisi Construction LLC was the low bidder on the project, and they came in at $8.1 million. I believe we had 4 bids ranging from the 8.1 all the way up to $12 million. So we're looking to have the contract come before the Common Council for approval on March 28th. So it'll be referred out at the next meeting. You guys should see it at the next Board of Public Works meeting. Also, Finance Committee will see it, and then we'll come back to Council hopefully on March 28th for approval. With that, that's all I had. Any questions?
How much over budget was the bid?
I haven't looked at the total numbers yet. I believe that was actually under what it was under the engineer's estimate. I believe that was at $10.5 million for the project. So we came in under that. You know, there's a lot of variables with the design costs kind of came in a little higher. We had to purchase some land for the project, which we're hopefully finalizing within the next couple weeks. So, but overall, the big portion, which is the construction of the project, came in under the engineer's estimate. So,
Well, that's good to hear. I see Dave has a question.
Yeah, Jim, I think you and I need to look into that. It seems like, you know, when we were having the initial go around on this, well, we were talking like 6 million, 6.1. So, you know, if now we're at 8, you know, I'm not disputing that cost, but I think that is more than, you know, when we originally voted on it in council, you know, the final design, I think it was based on 6.1 million. I could be wrong, you know, and I wouldn't expect you to know that, Tim, but maybe Jim and I will dig into that. So that's all I had to say on that.
and it also depends what that 6.1 million or the 6 million you guys were looking at, was that just from Lacey, or was that Lacey Road just from Fitchburg to Seminole, or did that also include the roundabout? Because
you're right, it did not include the roundabout.
Okay, so this for 8.1 million includes the roundabout work, which we're looking to get started first because school will be out of session for that.
All right, I feel a little better. Not that I feel good about spending that much money, but I with the roundabout, that seems to make, that seems to be consistent with our initial costs. Okay, thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thanks for the clarification, Tim.
How are we doing on salt so far this year?
On
Salt.
salt,
Yeah, road salt.
so far so good. I haven't heard anything from Mark, so I take that as no news is good news.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other discussion? Moving on, agenda item 5A. Can I get a motion approving resolution R-49-23, approving agreement for subdivision improvements in the plat of third edition to Terra Vesta?
Motion to approve?
I'll second the motion.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Tim, you want to explain this one?
Sure. The Common Council approved or conditionally approved the third addition to the Terra Vesta plat back on February 14th, 2023. So the city's land division ordinance requires the execution of the agreement for public improvements prior to the signature of the plat. So this resolution is for the actual agreement of the public improvements.
Okay, any questions? All in favor, say aye. Oh, Dave, did you have
Aye.
a question?
Well, I just want to say it's a relatively large, there's a relatively large number of lots in this, it's a substantial development. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry, Jim.
Nope, that's okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Agenda item 5B. Can I get a motion approving resolution R-44-23, adopting the 2022 NR 216 permit annual report?
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Tim?
So the city has obtained a permit from the state to discharge stormwater into the waters of the state. So as part of the permit requirements, annually we have to submit this report. This report includes involvement and feedback that the city's done this prior year. So we're just, part of the permit requirements, submitting the report on what's been completed.
Any, Dave?
Jim, just for clarification, did our staff answer the questions on this form, or is this something we contracted out to the county as part of our stormwater discharge?
Yeah,
permit
this
process?
the form was completed in-house. Ben Schulte, I believe, did the heavy legwork on this.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw his name in there. Yeah.
I have one question. You got Ben Schulte down on, his name is street supervisor and environmental engineer as well, but I'm sure that Mark should be there alone.
Yeah, and I spoke to Ben about that. So he said prior to submittal, he would have that revised in case there was any comments during this process through the Board of Public Works or Common Council. But yeah, that will get revised prior to submitting to the state. We did see that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Agenda item 5C. Can I get a motion approving resolution R-45-23, approving agreement with Aqua Backflow for cross-connection control and grease trap services?
I'll move approval of resolution R-45-23.
Second.
Resolution has been moved for approval and seconded. Tim?
So Fitchburg, we have a comprehensive cross-connection control program to eliminate existing and prevent future cross-connections. This has been in place since 2010. Grease traps are required to be installed and maintained for certain usage types per city ordinances and also the ordinances of the Madison Metropolitan Sewerage District. So Public Works put together a proposal to basically oversee the grease trap program and also provide the cross-connection control inspection services. We received 2 proposals as part of this, and after review of the proposals, we're recommending Aqua Backflow in the amount of $152,000 to do both the cross-connection control, and then also the grease trap.
Dave?
Tim, as I read through, it looked like we have approximately 900 cross connections. Does that sound about right in the report? That they would have to check on a yearly basis?
Correct. And then also as part of their evaluation, they would look at, if anything's been missed previously by the city. So that would be part of the evaluation also. So that number may grow.
How does, what's the process, and excuse my ignorance, they say a new business or whoever comes in, that they get on our list, that they have the appropriate backflow, protection on their system. Is that part of our inspection, building inspection, our buildings inspection department brings that up? I'm sorry I don't know this, and I'm putting you on the spot too. That I'm not sure you've dug into this deeply yet, but how the program grows or gets maintained, as additions come.
Yeah, as the city of Fitchburg, I'm not sure the process. Previously, my city, if a new business came in, it would be part of their business license, so they wouldn't be able to get the business license prior to getting either the cross connection or grease trap control. But I can look into that and let you guys know via email what the process is for the city here.
That'd be great. Yeah. Did you have a similar program, where you worked previously?
I'm not familiar with that, so no, we didn't have the silver program. What exactly is
the
that?
References, and there were a lot of references from utilities, in our cities in Illinois. I didn't see any in Wisconsin, which kind of surprised me, but I feel like they've been giving us a good value, for these past 10 years. If you say 900, or roughly, I don't know, be somewhere in the neighborhood of $150 or $160 per cross connection, inspection or checking yearly, which seems reasonable.
So have we used this aqua black flow before to do this for the city?
Yes, they've been doing it, I believe, since 2010.
Okay.
So they are very, very familiar with our database and process.
That should make it easier.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Ayes have it. Agenda item 5D. Can I get a motion approving resolution R-47-23, approving change order number 2 for maintenance services at well 5.
I so move and approve resolution R-47-23.
Get a second?
I'll second.
Move for approval and second it. Tim?
So as you're all aware, well number 5 is currently under maintenance. As part of the work, there are several additional components in need of replacement. Approximately 84 feet of sand needs to be removed from the bottom of this well, and then also the components of the well need to be replaced. They were pulled from the well and determined that their useful life was over, so we obviously couldn't see that with them down in the well, but once we were able to pull them with the contractor, it was determined now's the time to replace it. So this change order is proposing, I believe, about $37,000 worth of additional work for the contractor to do while they're mobilized at the well.
So this is really 2 change orders, is that correct?
It's one change order, but there's multiple parts to it. So the first part is the well needs to be brushed, because when they pulled the internal components, some of it broke apart and got into the formation of the well, so that the well needs to be brushed to remove those components. And then the second part is the actual component replacement. So I believe it's called, let me see, they changed the name. It used to be called Aquaflow, I believe, Aquastream, and now it's Lamnoflow, and that's the actual, it prevents the sand from being pulled from the well. So it's slotted pipe at certain segments within the well that needs to be replaced. So that's kind of what broke apart when it was pulled. And then lastly, the third thing that needs to be done with this change order is the removal of the sand at the bottom of the well. That's about 75 feet.
It seems like that's quite a bit. Is that unusual or is that normal?
For this well, I guess it kind of the history was during its initial construction, it was heavily blasted, and the blasting obviously increases the capacity of the well, which is good for the city. But then it also, on the flip side, increases the amount of sand that it can produce. So that's kind of a balance that you're playing with at the beginning of construction for the well. So when it was blasted, kind of this all happened.
Dave?
Yeah, I don't, I think Mr. Wilborn and I would both tell you, we wouldn't do it that way again if we had our druthers. Tim, the term brushing the well, can you elaborate on that a little more? It's kind of a generic term just for if anyone's watching, exactly what's going on when you're talking about brushing the well.
It's the well driller uses a tool, and it's like a brush where they stick it down the hole of the well, and the tool touches the side, the formation, and basically removes what's stuck to it. So it'll get those components and then be able to have those components be pulled.
Okay. Like a chimney sweep except for a water well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tim, did you get a sense that any of the replacement parts that are needed were due or could have been avoided, I guess?
No, from talking with Tracy, I think they were about 17 years old, so they're about at the end of their life. So the city did get some life out of them. I don't think it was short by any stretch.
Okay. Tim, would I be correct? The aqua stream, it's kind of a trade-off. It's keeping the sand from getting pulled up, damaging our pump, filling up our reservoir or whatever, but maybe the downside of it is the sand accumulates in the bottom of the well and at some point has to be dredged out, or am I thinking about this wrong?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the case.
When is the work scheduled to be done?
So the contractor's currently mowed. If approved, they would purchase the Lamnoflow is what it's called now. Not sure how readily available it is. I believe I didn't hear of any holdup with that, but I'm not entirely sure when the contractor is supposed to complete the work. But I can find that out and let you guys know.
Thank you.
Dave?
Tim, are we, at what time do we need to get this online? I'm assuming we need this as we hit into summer peak, but or are we sitting all right that if it goes longer, we have enough capacity from our other wells?
Yeah, there's sufficient capacity right now that it can be offline for a little bit yet.
Okay, thank you.
Dave?
Are we looking at 190-some thousand now on this?
That's the total project cost. So there was a change order completed previous to this. I believe that was in the amount of $17,000. And then the project had some contingency in there. So the total, all said and done, approved budget that we're looking for is $190,000. when originally it was about 154.
Yep. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Agenda item 6A, announcements. Next Board of Public Works meeting Monday, March 20th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Motion has been moved and seconded. We are now adjourned at 5:50 p.m.